Hello and welcome to Poetic Interpretations. I am Chris, aka Carpool Tonal. I'm a filmmaker, a poet, musician, songwriter, playwright, currently show running a cartoon series, and I'm a lover of all media. And what Poetic Interpretations is a deep dive into the poetry within music and the symbolism within the meaning of the music video, as well as the deeper dive into the deeper meaning of the song as a whole. Today, I will be doing an interpretation of High Ren by Ren. A little bit of background. I came across a song like months after, or when it was released, it was months after I did my grunge musical Meaning for Suffering that shared a lot of the same um, aspects within the storytelling of mental health, a lot of the same sentiments of the voices in our head telling um, us how to feel, and those voices being a detriment to us, as well as the thing that rises us up out of those dark places in our mind. Um, and when I came across this, it was like me and Ren came up with the same idea around the same time, released it around the same time. And I mean, one day I hope Ren can watch my grunge musical because I feel like he'll really connect with it. I've heard this song more than, I don't know, a lot of times. I just have never really done a deep dive into lyric by lyric. I never have done a poetic interpretation to it. So the first time I'm doing that is for y'all, and it's been a long time coming. Um, yeah, and let's dive into it. Yeah, and if you haven't seen any of my poetic interpretations before, it's usually been about, or it's been done on indie musicians, but I am now going to be doing poetic interpretations for some bigger artists and stuff. Yeah, and it's not like a short thing. I literally go line by line and break it down. So let's get into it. I also go frame by frame. So I already just noticed right here, never noticed before. His wheelchair says lids, LIDS, or is it LD? Oh, I'm gonna have to really dive into what that means. It might be a Lyme disease. That's what that means. LD, Lyme disease, which I know is what Ren had kind of suffered from. Yeah, that's what I'm interpreting that as. It's Lyme disease. It's put him in this chair. It's put him in this dark room. It it has created this mental space that he's kind of stuck in. And if you see the imagery of these dark, rotting corners, which is probably another symbolic thing for Lyme disease, and then these glares. One of them has an X. It almost looks like the X-Men sign. Um, it's the first time I really actually saw that. Or if that's just like a reflection off of the light, or if that was purposely meant to be there as because an X means don't go here, you know, you're not welcome here, or warning, caution, and he's being brought into this by his doctor, which is a butcher. Yeah, there's so many by frame I could break down, but yeah, I do want to say LD right there is Lyme disease. And the butcher wheels him in and walks away with the creepy old pig smile. Oh, even dig into that. That's gonna take even more time. But basically, putting him up to the slaughter. If the butcher is wheeling him into the room that is supposed to be his death room, his hole, the place for him to die in, as a butcher, just waiting for him to die. Yeah, there's so many other different ways you can interpret that and really take it, but that's where I'm going to take it, and I'm going to continue to build on upon that. Yeah. Even his instrumentation within that part of the guitar playing, it's the comfort they give you, as the doctors will give you. This sense of comfort, knowing that you're going to be taken care of, everything's okay. And then once complications start to rise, he starts to play dissonant notes and really bringing it into this yeah, dissonant type of feeling, making you feel uneasy and a little uncertain of where the next note is going to lie. Where is he going to hit the resolution note? Instead, he keeps it building and all that stuff, which is really great for just this entire beginning of being willed in, not knowing when you go and check yourself into the hospital or into a clinic what the outcome's going to be. Because at first they tell you like everything's going to be okay. But then once you're there and you're stuck in this room, these bricked walls that is within your mind or within your diagnosis, or the uncertainty of like, do they know what's actually wrong with you? All of these notes that the doctors say, all of these things are uncertain, and it really brings a dissonant aspect to your stay within these places and the uncertainty that you feel internally. That's, does anyone know what's really wrong with me? Is there something wrong with me? And if there is, why can't anyone help me? Which, I'm pointing at my chest, but the mental health aspect of that is just so, it's so deep, really thinking into that, because that's how it feels for anyone dealing with mental health issues, asking for help. And I'm not just saying this as someone just as an outlook. No, I'm someone who has dealt with so many mental health issues. I've multiple times have harmed myself. I have looked off a ledge thinking that was the cure to my pain, to jump. I've had so many mental health experiences like that. I am afraid to go talk to doctors about it because of the times I have. I feel like I've been wheeled into a box in a room and they're like, you're just depressed. You need to get over it. Here's medicine, here's drugs, here's a bunch of pills and all this stuff. But that never really helped me. What really helped me was actually music. What helped, not music, but just art, creativity. Um, Having someone in the box with me rather than being all by myself. Even that part, because he's doing a yodel, he's doing an expression of his pain and the moans and aches that you make in this echo chamber that he's been put into. And the only one that's the echoes and the pain is reverberating back to is yourself. It's reverberating in your mind, and it's like, is anyone going to hear my cries? Anyone's going to hear my screams? Is anyone going to care? Or am I be the only one that deals with this in my echo chamber, in my own mind, in my padded cell, in this little box that I created for myself that I don't share to the outside worlds. And this box is cracking around me, it's deteriorating. Yes, I have a few lights and lamps trying to keep me from the complete darkness, but are they always going to work? Are they always going to keep me sane? Are they always going to help me through the darkness?
Hi there, Ran. It's been a little while. Did you miss me? You thought you buried me, didn't you? Risky. Cause I always come back. Deep down, you know that. Deep down, you know I'm always in periphery. Ran, on you're pleased to see me. It's been weeks since we spoke, bro. I know you need me. You're the sheep, I'm the shepherd. Not your place to lead me. Not your place to be biting off the hand that feeds me.
So, yes, in my musical, it's the voice of reason that speaks a lot of these things. I want to say in his it is the demon on the shoulder, the devil on the shoulder or whatnot, which is obviously apparent, but I'm gonna dive deeper into that. It's the voices from your past, it's the voices from um your internal voices of self-doubt, imposter syndrome, the voices that tell you to leap off the edge, that everything that you are doing is wrong, that that the all of these darker voices that lead you into darkness keep replaying in your head, and you try to escape them, you try to get help, you try to get yourself out of this dark room, out of that mind state, out of the pitfall. But those voices always come back, and it's like, oh, did you forget about me? Um, yeah, I'm gonna dive into a few of these lyrics right here, but it's all
buried me, didn't you? Risky. Cause I always come back. Deep down, you know that. Deep down, you know I'm
Yeah. Did you miss me? Definitely didn't miss him. And then the minute that hit, the lamp shut off. It's even shut off right here, but you can't escape me. You can't escape mental health. All of this stuff is going to come back. It's not something that you could just switch off on a lamp. You can't just like switch the lamp off and off. They're going to come back. And they're going to come back even more powerful and stronger. And really, when you start succeeding, they're going to start actually hurting you more and more unless you have the light, the support, the voice of hope um, to defeat all that. But when you lose all hope, these are the voices that continue to speak to you. Um, yeah, like, did you think you could leave me? I'm always gonna come back. I'm always with you. There's no escaping that, and it's a endless battle. Like, I mean, I've talked to people on being vulnerable, my podcast, who have dealt with this for like until their 50s and 60s. That those voices don't leave you. It's about how you communicate back to these voices that actually can help you through these dark times.
I ran. It's been a little while. Did you miss me? You thought you buried me, didn't you? Risky. Cause I always come back. Deep down, you know that. Deep down, you know I'm always in periphery. Ran on your pleased to see me. It's been weeks since we spoke, bro. I know you need me. You're the sheep, I'm the shepherd. Not your place to lead me. Not your place to be biting off the hand that feeds me.
Man, and that's so deep too, is the aspect that he just said there of like, um, I know you need me. Sometimes the people with the biggest dreams, people with the biggest goals in life, specifically within creatives, they say that we need that voice to tell us when we are being unreasonable, being um, we're not achieving our dreams. We need that voice to be like to tell us all those things. When I don't know if we really need it, it's definitely not what we want. But those voices, like the voice of reason in my musical, is basically letting you know where you're at, and there's a reason why this voice is coming back to you. Is because you allowed it in, because you are believing these same thoughts as well. So that other voice in the back of your head telling you you'll never amount to nothing, everything that you're doing is bad or wrong, or you are in over your head, all these things, those voices, I don't know if we need them. We definitely don't want them, but they do drive us to overcome the things around us by overcoming that voice. So in him, it was like, it's been weeks. Did you miss me? You've had a happy few weeks doing something you're passionate and about and loving, and your soul is going so much more better. And this voice comes back. Did you miss me? Hell no, I did not miss you. But without you, would I be able to keep overcoming all of the other voices that are pulling me back and pulling me away from greatness? Yeah, it's such a deep topic that, I'm a mental health first aider. I've dealt with a lot of mental health stuff, but everyone is unique and individual in how they experience mental health and what helps them or what not. And some people, like, I mean, me, I need these moments of reminding myself of those voices that tell me that I'm not worthy, that I am no one will ever accept me, and that that darkness is the best place for me. So use the other I could use myself as a third voice, separate from the voice of hope and separate from the voice of reason, to speak back on that, like, I am worthy, I am enough, I don't need you anymore, I don't want you controlling my life. Yeah, I mean, we're only in a minute in this, but yeah, I'm gonna keep breaking it down.
Hi, Bren. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself since my therapist told me I'm ill. And I've been making some progress lately. And I've learned some new coping skills. So I haven't really needed you much, man. I think we need to just step back and chill.
See, I think that was his voice. It's not the voice of light, or he's talking to. I mean, he basically just said all the stuff I was just saying through that voice. Is that I didn't need you much lately. I needed some time by myself. I needed some time away from the dark thoughts. I needed some time to reevaluate what I really want in my life. I needed to chill, and you weren't letting me chill. So I cut you out. But that voice always comes back, no matter how hard, how many drugs you take to numb it, how much you numb it with um, alcohol and actual drugs like hard drugs. Like, talked about therapy, like the aspects of when I first mentioned, like, no matter how much my depression pills, my anxiety pills, my ADD pills, all of that, I needed a breath away from negative thoughts, no matter how much I had to numb myself to be that way. And it does when you get into that little cycle of drowning out the imposter syndrome, drowning out the self doubt, drowning out the self hatred. Um, that those pills help with. But then you're kind of numb to not doing anything to move past it. You're just in that little psychosomatic state when you're neurodivergent to have a time away from those thoughts. And I mean, as my own experience, what I use alcohol to drown those thoughts. In my times where I didn't have so many responsibilities, I just use weed to drown those thoughts out. And I just can't use that as a crutch anymore because of all the responsibilities I have as a showrunner. That the only thing I can use now is using alcohol, using media, music, TV, poetry, guitar, anything that I can do to not face those type of thoughts. But I drown them out and then they'll be gone for a while, but then that the mind of when you have that little pause break of not doing those things, these bad thoughts creep back in your mind.
I always come back. Deep down, you know that. Deep down, you know I'm always in periphery. Rent on your pleased to see me. It's been weeks since we spoke, bro. I know you need me. You're the sheep, I'm the shepherd. Not your place to lead me. Not your place to be biting off the hand that feeds me. Hi, bro.
It's not your place to bite off the hand that feeds you. Well, that could actually be even really deeper too in the fact that those voices that tell you not to do art, not to do creative, not to chase your dreams are telling you that also because it's like you need to put food on your table, you need to work, you need to feed yourself. And when you bite off those voices that feed you, that's when shit like happened to me where I have too big of dreams and I'm not working at a gas station anymore, or working at a liquor store, or I'm not working to feed myself. I'm working for my dream to feed my dream, but I'm biting off those thoughts of you need to do this because this is what society is. Society wants you to work and do be a functional person of society, but when you're dealing with mental health and being neurodivergent and you have big dreams, you have to choose. And I chose my big dreams. I keep choosing those dreams, but it is a detriment to me not having enough money to feed myself, me starving myself for many years when I was in college because I'd only use my money to either fund my career or to drown out the negative thoughts. Literally taking away the thing that would feed me. Yeah.
I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself since my therapist told me I'm ill. And I've been making some progress lately. And I've learned some new coping skills. So I haven't really needed you much, man. I think we need to just step back and chill.
Just really hit back on that. He learned new coping skills rather than rather than using the old coping skills of drowning out that voice, drowning out the dark thoughts within your mind, the self-doubts and all that stuff. Learning new coping skills is learning a new way to deal with that. And he just needed to chill. Yeah. I feel like I've hit so much on just only two little verses. We haven't really got into it.
Really needed you much, man. I think we need to just step back and chill. Ren, you sound more insane than I do. You think that those doctors are really there to guide you? Been through this a million times. Your civilian mind is so perfect to always being lied to. Okay, take another pill, boy. Drown yourself in the sound of white noise. Follow this 10-step program, rejoice. All your problems will be gone. Fucking dumb boy.
I guess I probably don't have to repeat all the stuff I just said because he just hit all that in that verse. Drown yourself in pills, white noise, trying to distract yourself from the darker thoughts that you have. My white noise is actually like TV, video games, and stuff. I could literally just lose myself in that, and I don't have to worry about the world around me. I mean, the perfect world for me is to just intake media and not have to worry about the consequences of me not being productive in the world or whatnot. And that aspect is something that I'm glad he talks about in this in a clear, straight way. Because a lot of people who don't really understand neurodivergence and the way our minds work, it's hard to communicate that type of thing. Is that our escapism is not escaping the world, is escaping our our own trauma, our own um, voices, everything that we tell ourselves in our head. You don't have to tell us this. We're telling this to ourselves in our head all the freaking time. All the time. Like, yeah. You don't have to say I'm a screw up or a fuck up or whatnot. That is really what our voice is telling us in our head all the time. Yeah, we don't And we use these crutches as of media, music, TV, films, drugs, alcohol, and stuff to alleviate the amount of stress that we put onto ourselves. And when more people understand that, they may be able to look at us like we aren't just screw ups or whatnots. We are individuals who are hurting ourselves with our own self thoughts, and the judgment from society and from other people is only hurting us more and making us want to escape more. Yeah, people need to understand that.
Civilian mind is so perfect, always being lied to. Okay, take a
Civilian mind, you're always being lied to. Exact. I didn't even put that in, but that's exactly what I was just trying to come across with, like the civilian mind, the society. And we're always being lied to because we're lying to ourselves the entire time. And then people are lying to us by their judgment because our civilian mind makes us want to be a societal member and all this stuff. But being neurodivergent, it's not that easy. It's not that easy.
chill. Ren, you sound more insane than I do. You think that those doctors are really there to guide you? Been through this a million times. Your civilian mind is so perfect, always being lied to. Okay, take another pill, boy. Drown yourself in the sound of white noise. Follow this 10-step program, rejoice. All your problems will be gone. Fucking dumb boy. Nah, mate, this time is different.
All your problems will be gone. Will be gone, you fucking dumb boy. Like, you think all these things are gonna really help you? Yeah. I was kind of getting into that, but I didn't really, yeah, I didn't really connect that. But he literally said all the stuff that I was just talking about, but he wrapped it up in a really good way. It's like, um, your civilian mind, and you're always being lied to. You fucking dumb boy. And even just the wordplay of you're fucking done, boy, or you're fucking dumb, boy. I don't know exactly, but he worded it in a way where you can actually communicate done and dumb as the same word. But that's the aspect of what our mind says is that we're done. Like we can't. There's no way to continue on. Death is better than living. And we're fucking dumb for thinking that. Because there's always a chance. There's always redemption. There's always a way to bring yourself out of the darkness. And a lot of that has to do with how we reconceive and we reprocess our mind to think differently or take all the stuff around us differently. By using these voices of reason, hope, and our own voice, which is a separate voice, but yeah, we'll continue on.
Oh, grand rejoice, all your problems will be gone. Fucking dumb boy. Nah, mate, this time is different, man. Trust me. I feel like things might be falling in place, and my music's been kinda doing bits too. Like I actually might do something great, and when I'm gone, maybe I'll be remembered for doing something special with myself. That's why I don't think that we should talk, man. Cause when you're with me, it never seems to help.
Yeah, that's the voice of hope coming through him right there. Um, I feel like things are falling in place. I feel like I'm finally rising. I feel like I can actually make something out of myself. And just because that voice, that dark voice, doesn't understand that, but it's still trying to push back against it. You're always fighting this internal battle of if you're, for me, if my dreams are um, feasible within this world that I'm in, but I always want to believe in my dreams. But the one voice that always is telling me not to believe in my dreams is my own voice. And it doesn't ever help. It never seems to help when those voices come in because it pulls you back. It takes you away from believing in yourself and then creates the imposter syndrome, the imposter in your mind.
In bits too. Like I actually might do something great. And when I'm gone, maybe I'll be remembered for doing something special with myself. That's why I don't think that we should talk, man. Cause when you're with me, it never seems to help. You think that you can amputate me? I am you, you are me, you are I am we are one. Split in two, that makes one. So you see, you gotta kill you if you wanna kill me.
Oh, where do we start here? These voices, these doubts, these self-doubts, this self-criticism, it comes from us. I am me, I am you, we are one. Um, yeah, these voices come from our inner selves. There's no way to separate us from that. There's no way to not bring the darkness within you to everything light in your life. You can't amputate it. There's nothing you do. You could drown it out with white noise, with drugs, with pills, with alcohol, with all that stuff. But that is still a part of you. And accepting that aspect of you is one of the hardest things to do to overcome mental health, is accepting that, yes, this is a part of me. As bad as it can be, as detrimental or harmful it can be to your life, that is you. And that is not the only part of you. There's another part of you. There is a light side of you. There is the one that's fighting. There's that middle voice. There's the voice of hope. Yeah, and never never feel like you are all one of your voices. Um, and I could be a testament to that because I'm 10 years off of hard drugs. I went down to my darkest part of my life on hard drugs because I was numbing all of the pain of being a screw up. And when I accepted that and realized that it didn't have to define me and I could define myself, is when I grew and was able to go back into college. I mean, after all that, I got what, 2 degrees. I was a mentor. I was a president of 2 different student organizations. I helped so many people along the way. I shared my story. I did not let the darkness define me, even though the darkness always wants to define you. And now look at me. I'm show running a cartoon series. Everything. Everyone's world is going to change with this cartoon series. Animals, the people involved with it, and my world, and my family's world, and all of that. But I did not. I chose to accept the darkness within me to get to the point that I'm at. And because of that, I was able to completely come clean on hard drugs and all that. Yeah.
The hell? You think that you can amputate me? I am you, you are me, you are I am we are one. Split in two, that makes one. So you see, you gotta kill you if you wanna kill me. I'm not leftover dinner, I'm not scraps on the side. Oh, your music is thriving, delusional guy. Where's your top 10 hit? Where's your interview with Oprah? Wow, your Grammys ran nowhere. Yeah, but my music's not commercial like that. I never chase numbers, statistics, or stats. I never write hooks for the radio, they never even play me, so why would I concern myself with that? But my music is really connecting, and the people who find it respect it. And for me, that's enough, cause this life's been tough, so it gives me a purpose I can rest in.
Yeah, he makes a really good point there too, and that's what helped me is knowing I'm helping other people. Um, and that is something I could rest in. As long as that's what Carpool Tonal stands for, is music made to save the world. As long as I can make an impact on other people for the positive, that is something I could live with. That is something I could die with. That is something that I can keep passionate about and keep trying for. Um, Something like this poetic interpretation, where I am diving into um, Ren's. Um, I would call this a short musical about mental health, being able to open up a different world in someone's mind who's watching this, that all these things that I am saying could help somebody, and that's why I'm saying them. That's why I'm doing this, is that it could help somebody. And that's my whole aspect. And it keeps driving me, and it keeps that darkness not being the main voice in my head telling me not to do things. I mean, I would have done this poetic interpretation of this years ago, but I had that voice telling me I shouldn't. No one wants to hear what I'm saying. Um, that it's been done. I missed out. I didn't do it at the right time, all this stuff. But that is those dark voices that at the end of the day, no, I'm doing this at the time that I could do it the best. The time I can interpret this the best. And hopefully I'm doing a good job there.
Why would I concern myself with that? But my music is really connecting, and the people who find it respect it. And for me, that's enough, cause this life's been tough, so it gives me a purpose I can rest in. Man, you sound so pretentious. Ran, your music is so self-centered. No one wants to hear another song about how much you hate yourself. Trust
Trust
me.
me. Oh, you sound so pretentious. Yes, I definitely do when I'm talking about all these things, but I I don't ever sound like this. I do not ever trust in myself to speak about things like this. I don't ever believe in myself enough to think that anything that I say is worth anyone listening to. But it does for me. It does for the people who found me, the people who do listen to my stuff, the people who do connect with me. Even though it's pretentious and all that stuff, I understand that when I put myself out there, it's not pretentious. It's me being courageous. In my own mind, I'm processing all those dark thoughts of like, oh, this is pretentious. What are you saying? You're 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 dumb. No one's gonna want to listen to this, but that's why I am not going to edit this. This is all gonna be a raw delivery because I have to believe in myself, you know?
You sound so pretentious. Ran, your music is so self-centered. No one wants to hear another song about how much you hate yourself. Trust me. You should be so lucky, having me inside you to guide you, remind you to manage expectations, provide you perspective. That thing you neglected, I get it. You wanna be a big deal, next Jimi Hendrix, forget it. Man, it's not like that. Man, it's just like that. I'm inside you, you twat. No, it's not, man, you're wrong. When I write, I belong. Let me break the fourth wall by acknowledging this song. Ren sits down, has a stroke of genius. He wants to write a song that was not done previous. A battle with the subconscious. Eminem did it. Played on guitar. Plan B did it.
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna talk about this because I need to talk about this. Months after I had recorded Meaning for Suffering, and released it, within that little time frame of recording it, releasing it, I found NF, who actually was talking about a lot of the same stuff that I was, and was doing a lot of the same things with the mansion and all the voices in his head and all this stuff. And it really made me like I don't want people to think that I am copying this person. Because they did. NF basically did the same thing I was doing. He just did it in a different way. And then High Ren came out like a little bit after all of that. And he did it as a one take, literally with Inside His Mind. Same thing that NF was doing. And I really felt that aspect of like, I didn't release my music in time. Everyone's going to think that I am doing the same thing everyone else is. Everyone's going to like their versions better than mine. Everyone's, yeah. And those are all those internal thoughts that I was having, even though no one had ever, that I had presented to everything. I'm like, oh, that's like NF, or oh, you did exactly what Ren did. But those internal thoughts of the mind make, made me exactly do what he's talking about right here is to value my own self-worth and my own art and creativity and me sharing my story of my mental health in a similar way that they did, but it was a different story. Like, and I mean, I still deal with this even just right now watching this. It's like he is communicating what I try to communicate better, but that does not mean that what I communicated should be put on the same scale as theirs. It should not be, in my mind should not allow their artwork to take away from my own artwork. And I mean, it held me back for, I don't know, I finally released it publicly, meaning for suffering, last like November because I had all of these thoughts that someone else has done it. They've done it previously. Eminem did it. Played on guitar. Well, Plan B did it. Like, yeah, that's those are the thoughts that keep artists and musicians from releasing music. And it's a detriment to our own self-esteem and our creative expression and to the world because our music is not released because of these things. And I've talked to so many musicians who deal with the same shit. Like someone making a song about peace, and then they hear someone else that just released a song about peace, and they're like, okay, I shouldn't release the song. But no, it's like you should still release that song about peace, even though if it might be the same genre, same way it's played, same way it's communicated. You're telling your own story of peace, and it's always going to be different, unless you're like completely biting people's lyrics and stuff. But that's not what we're talking about.
Man, you're not original, you criminal rip-off artist. The pinnacle of your success is stealing other people's material. Ran, mate, we've heard it all before. She sells seashells on the seashore. Fuck you, I don't need you, I don't need to hear this. Cause I'm fine by myself, I'm a genius. And I will be great, and I will make waves. And I'll shake up the whole world beneath us. That's
Yeah. We've all heard it before. Seashells, seashells on the seashore. That's a reference to his song "Money Game," which is a reference to, I don't know, is that a nursery rhyme? I forget what that is. Seashells, seashells on the seashore. But he honestly, what he did with Money Game, he really flipped that entire aspect of capitalism and delivered it in a way that was like almost a commentary on it. So unique. But his mind was still probably playing all that in his head. There's a couple things he just said right here too that I want to talk about.
Original, you criminal rip-off artist, the pinnacle of your success is stealing other people's material. Ran, mate, we've heard it all before. She sells seashells on the seashore. Fuck you, I don't need you, I don't need to hear this. Cause I'm fine by myself, I'm a genius. And I will be great, and I will make waves, and I'll shake up the whole world beneath it.
Like, yeah. F you, I don't need to hear this. That's us talking back to the that negative voice in our head, the self-doubt. And it's like, I will be great. I basically the voice that he's using right there is the voice of hope and believing in yourself. I do dive into this in the meaning for suffering about how the voice of hope can be a poison, but if we continue following the voice of hope, using the voice of reason, we can actually make a pearl out of it. Um, which I think he kind of gets into. We'll see, but the aspect of this internal battle of your hopes and dreams conflicting with um, the voice of society, the voice of reason, self doubt, and all those things that we're kind of programmed to have. Like, if everyone told all their kids that they could be a president of the world, maybe we wouldn't have that. Like, did early Homo sapiens deal with these type of voices? Or is this something we constructed through society to make us believe in, or to not believe in ourselves in these ways, that only a few people get to make it and all that stuff?
That's right, speak your truth, your fucking god complex leaks out of you. It's refreshing to actually hear you say it instead of downplay it. Music is all about the creative process, and if people can find something to relate to within that, then that's just a bonus.
Your God complex leaks out of you. Yes. Uh, I mean, it's leaking out of me right here when I'm talking about all this stuff. Yes. I believe I can change the world. I believe I can make an impact on people. I believe that I have what it takes within me to make the world a better place and impact other people's lives. That's a God complex. And the negative mind thinking that I already have. That's like, no, you can't do that. What are you thinking? But when I believed in myself, I was able to just keep trying and not let those voices keep me from chasing my dreams, becoming like a peer leader, becoming president of two different organizations. All those things only happened because I chose not to believe the voice that was telling me that I shouldn't believe in myself. Instead, I just believed in myself and I just kept going.
Fuck you, I'ma fucking kill you, Ren. Well, fucking kill me then, let's fucking have you, Ren. I'ma do it, watch me prove it. Who are you to doubt my music? Cause I call the shots, I choose if you die. Yeah, I call the shots and so I choose who survives. I'll tie you up in knots when I lock you inside.
Yeah. Tie you in knots when I lock you inside. That's what I did. Oh, and this is like a good little aspect of that too. I mean, I was on such a high, changing people's lives, doing all that I can to impact the world, making music, making films, made it to my junior year of college, and then the darkness came back, kind of like this, you can't escape me. And that darkness is what put me on the ledge and maybe almost jump, but it was the voice of hope and reason came together at that time and told me I should take this pain and make it into art. And that's what created meaning for suffering. This was after I did all of these great things that I cut out the voice of darkness, cut out the addiction, cut out all these things, but it still came back. at the moment that I was feeling the best about myself. Like, I don't need you. I don't need I don't need the darkness. I don't need these self-doubt voices. All I gotta do is believe in myself. Hope is taking me to greater places. And then that one moment, hope became the poison because I let the voice back in, which he's about to get into.
Newsflash! I was created at the dawn of creation. I am temptation. I am the snake in Eden. I am the reason for treason. Beheading all kings, I am sin, with no rhyme or reason. Son of the morning.
I am sin with no rhyme or reason. Yeah, there was no reason I should have felt the way I did. There's no reason I should have stepped to that ledge. There's no reason I should have thought of jumping. There was no rhyme to it. I was doing everything great because this thing that he's talking about is mental health that you can't really escape. It's been at the dawn of creation. It's our temptation. It is the thing that makes us create the noose. Now, what makes us jump with the noose on our neck is a different thing, but that's our that's our own self. But yeah, he's in some great points here.
I am temptation. I am the snake in Eden. I am the reason for treason. Beheading all kings, I am sin, with no rhyme or reason. Son of the morning, Lucifer, Antichrist, father of lies. Mistopheles, truth in a blender, deceitful pretender, the banished avenger, the righteous surrender when standing in.
Just want to get into one last little thing there is at the end of the day, all of those negative thoughts, those negative things in our head, all of that stuff is what has created what humans have termed the word evil. That evil exists before humans, before all of this. I mean, animals would have just thought it as nature, you know, hurricanes, asteroids, floods, ice ages, all that stuff. In our minds, that is evil stuff, but we created that word evil. That's why it's what he was saying there is the aspect of how it's a driving force that we just keep continuing on thinking that it is the worst parts of us. But and I'm not saying that evil doesn't exist out in the world because there's some very not even questionable, very dark things that humans have done that we can really describe as evil, as something that comes from the worst parts of us. And those are the things that were created out of these dark thoughts that we have in our own heads. Um, the dawn of creation, creating these things.
I am temptation. I am the snake in Eden. I am the reason for treason. Beheading all kings, I am sin, with no rhyme or reason. Son of the morning, Lucifer, Antichrist, father of lies. Mistopheles, truth in a blender, deceitful pretender, the banished avenger, the righteous surrender when standing in front of my solar eclipse. My name is stitched to your lips, so you see, I won't bow to the will of a mortal. Feeble and normal, you wanna kill me, I'm eternal immortal. I live in every decision that catalyzes chaos that causes division. I live inside death, the beginning of ends. I am you, you are me, I am you, friend.
And he hits on that point too, is that I am you, you are me. Um, yeah. What we define as evil came from humanity. and we can't escape that. That is something that came from us, that came from our definition of evil, but it also, the actual true things that we consider evil came from humans. That's a part of all of us. And I know a lot of people probably have already touched on a lot of the aspects of the light. You know, darkness is coming in and out of the darkness, in and out of the lights, um, with these lamps, metaphorically delivering those beats within his his song, creating the darkness in our world, specifically to him being in, you know, a wheelchair and a um, hospital gown and all that stuff, is where he has been put into this world, and he's put in the darkness and the dark corners where it's easier to be swept by the darkness. And it's up to us to turn on those lamps, to switch on those lights. Even at our darkest moments, we have the potential to turn on a lamp and give a little bit of light. Um, even with his guitar playing and his the dynamics of how he is hitting certain chords and hitting certain notes with extra emphasis, making it just really sound off, making it really apparent of the battle that he is facing with inside himself, and the battle that, like, as a guitar, he's battling his guitar right now. Yeah. Even the chords he used.
Hi, Ren. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself, and I've spent half my life ill. But just as sure as the tide starts turning, just as sure as the night has dawned, just as sure as the rainfall soon runs dry when you stand in an eye of a storm.
See, I think this is actually the first time Hope speaks. Because the entire time before, he was battling against the dark voices. So Hope was taking the time, the light, belief in yourself, all of the positive type of thoughts you can have, confidence and all that stuff. It was on a back burner. Wasn't speaking up while he was in his darkest moments. But when he was ready to accept the light, the voice comes through. When he's at his darkest moment, that's how it was for me. When I was at my lowest moment, my darkest moment, the pitfall, that is when the most light shined through me. Save me from addiction, save me from so many things, that save me from self-hatred, save me from feeling like I was gonna be worthless and that my life did not have any meaning. And when that light came in, it spoke these type of words, that I belong, I I I can make an impact on the world, and that's, my life is not worthless. Yeah.
I've been taking some time to be by myself, and I've spent half my life ill. But just as sure as the
Also, I spent half my life ill. It's how mental health actually takes away some of these lighter voices, the lighter side, depression, anxiety, and stuff, makes your hope, makes your belief, makes your positive voice ill. So spending half your life ill from having positive thoughts, and even when those positive thoughts come in, they're drowned out by the negative thoughts. It's definitely is a sickness to the light.
I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself, and I've spent half my life ill. But just as sure as the tide starts turning, just as sure as the night has dawned, just as sure as the rainfall soon runs dry when you stand in an eye of a storm. I was made to be tested and twisted. I was made to be broken and beat. I was made by his hand, it's all part of his plan that I stand on my own 2 feet.
I love this little switch up to this because it goes from steady shots to a handheld shot that is actually kind of like a extreme close up. No, not extreme. It's a close up in the moment where he's talking about I was made to be broken and twisted. I was made to be broken and beat. However said that. Yeah. Us neurodivergent mental health people, we torture ourselves constantly. Everything that we do is a torture to ourselves. We are meant to take on the torture. And so when the world tries to give it to us, when these negative feelings torture us, I was made for this. I've been battling this my entire life. I can take on the torture. Like, once you hit the light, there's nothing that the world can do to you that you don't do to yourself. And we can rise up from it. And, oh, literally, I didn't even put that into my mind, is that he rises up from his wheelchair in this. Like, this is what makes him rise up. The light is shining, and then now he has this heavy overhead lighting. He has his close up. He's himself. And they really communicate that too with the cinematography of making it a handheld shot. Like you're holding the camera now. This is, the lens is in your hand now, the camera's in your hand, or the ball is in your hand, type of thing.
Tested and twisted. I was made to be broken and beat. I was made by his hand, it's all part of his plan that I stand on my own 2 feet.
And that was a reference to God. I was made by his hand. I was made to stand on my own 2 feet. Yeah, there's religious connotations within there. And I don't know if you meant it having that second meaning of talking about himself as the him, um, that our third voice, our ourselves, our own psyche is what gives strength to the light to shine when these moments happen. So by Ren saying him, he might actually be referring to himself, or he could be referring to God, or is that double meaning of creation? Because we created these voices in our head. We created the light. We created the darkness within ourselves. We created those things.
When you stand in an eye of a storm, I was made to be tested and twisted. I was made to be broken and beat. I was made by his hand, it's all part of his plan that I stand on my own 2 feet. And you know me, my will is eternal. And you know me, you've met me before. Face to face with a beast, I will rise from the east and I'll settle on the ocean floor. And I go by many names also. Some people know me as hope. Some people know me as the voice that you hear when you loosen the noose on the rope.
Yes. This is like my favorite line in this. It really hit me the most is loosening the noose on the rope. That's me stepping away from the ledge, jumping off. It was the light mixed with the darkness. It is the voice of reason and the voice of hope coming together helped me step off that ledge. Um, there's been other times where I've tried to take my life, but specifically this resonates with my mental process in that exact moment where I was looking off the ledge and hope telling me that this moment is something that could help people. This moment, something that can make my life have meaning. And reason agreeing with it, and reason being like, this is what you need to write about. This is the whole aspect of why you stepped on this ledge and all this stuff is because I was struggling with creative, um, trying to create a junior thesis film and struggling with it and like not knowing how to write something that is worth me telling. And it was the light that shined into me with the darkness that brought me to take that moment and make art out of it. Um, that's why at the end of the day, it's something so much different than Ren or NF is because how that was created was through that experience that only I had. And because of that, like my life has changed. Like literally, like I won this award because of that musical, um, which is like best score. But it's not about the award or anything. It's about the aspect of how I was able to take all of my internal struggle and put it into something of art that no one that's gonna withstand the test of time. That's going to be immortal. Like no one can change that. That was all came from my own pain and my experience, which I know Ren has dealt with a lot. Like, and he's communicating within this. He's in a wheelchair, in the hospital gown, communicating mental struggles within the light and the dark within his own mind, and it allowed him to communicate what he was going through with being misdiagnosed, um, and then having actually Lyme disease, which was deteriorating his body and all this stuff, and how he put it into a art form. I mean, this is a complete art form: music, theater, acting, filmmaking, production design. There's so much art in this. Lighting. He put it all into one little package that he was able to deliver, and I respect him for that. And I really admire his strength to communicate that because I know it took me a lot of courage to do that, and it took him a lot too. And shout out to Ren if you're ever watching this. That you're a hero. You're one of my heroes, man.
I was made to be tested and twisted. I was made to be broken and beat. I was made by his hand, it's all part of his plan that I stand on my own 2 feet. And you know me, my will is eternal. And you know me, you've met me before. Face to face with a beast, I will rise from the east and I'll settle on the ocean floor. And I go by many names also. Some people know me as hope. Some people know me as the voice that you hear when you loosen the noose on the rope. And you know how I know that I'll prosper? Cause I stand here beside you today. I have stood in the flames that cremated my brain, and I didn't once flinch or shake. So
I stand in the flames that cremated my brains, but I didn't sit there or flinch or feel shame. Like, oh shit. I know I'm repeating a few things, but that is exactly what my poetic interpretation I was trying to communicate is through the darkness, through all of those times where I was on fire from all of mental health struggles, my PTSD, me being autistic, me suffering so much from the world, police brutality, racial violence that was on me, all of those stuff, I could have easily allowed it to cremate me. but I'm still standing here today. I'm still, not only is that not holding me back anymore, it is driving me to keep moving forward, to stand up, to make things like this, to change people's hearts any way I can. And none of the darkness, none of the people who have harmed me, none of the bullies, none of the police, none of the government, none of them could take that away from me. That is mine, and that is the one thing I hold strong, and I'll keep doing it to this day. I'll keep doing it till my last breath.
Know me as hope. Some people know me as the voice that you hear when you loosen the noose on the rope. And you know how I know that I'll prosper? Cause I stand here beside you today. I have stood in the flames that cremated my brain, and I didn't once flinch or shake. So cower the man I've become when I sing from the top of my lungs. That I won't retire, I'll stand in your fire, inspire the meek to be strong. And when
I'll I'll inspire the weak to be strong. I won't retire. Literally, I said a few things that literally I didn't have to say it again because he actually said it right there.
shake. So cower the man I've become when I sing from the top of my lungs. That I won't retire, I'll stand in your fire, inspire the meek to be strong. And when I am gone I will rise in the music that I left behind. Ferocious, persistent, immortal like you, we're a coin minted different sides.
Or a coin with two different sides. The aspect of the two different voices in the head, but you're the coin. Yes, you have two different sides, but you are the coin. Yes, it could be flipped. You might land on heads, you might land on tails, and that's what the day is going to be like for you. But you are that coin that has both sides. You do not, you could flip that coin from tails to heads. With mental health, it's a little harder to flip that coin, but you have that other side of the coin always. You are the coin. You have both different sides. You have the power and the strength to rise above and take me as evidence of that because of all of the dark side that is tails, but then all of the head side, which is all of the impact. And I know if I died today, the world would be a less better place because of the impact I can have in my future and on people's lives. And I'm not trying to, I already have that voice, the God complex saying like, oh, that is presumptuous of you to assume. No, but no, I know that no matter what, I have the power to make anybody I interact with life's better. As long as I choose to have and be that person. As long as I choose to do that. Because if I'm on the tail side the entire time, yes, I can make everyone's life a worse place that I'm interacting with. But no, I choose to make everyone's life a better place. And no one can take that away from me. The only one who could take that away from me is me.
The music that I left behind. Ferocious, persistent, immortal like you, we're a coin minted different sides.
And this is his last battle against the darkness. Not his last battle, but metaphorically his last battle against darkness. Because you're always going to fight the darkness. But yeah. So lights are on. He takes off his guitar. He no longer needs his music to be the driving force. All he needs now is words. He just needs himself.
When I was 17 years old, I shouted out into an empty room, into a blank canvas that I would defeat the forces of evil. And for the next 10 years of my life, I suffered the consequences. With autoimmunity, illness, and psychosis. As I got older, I realized there were no real winners and there were no real losers in psychological warfare. But there were victims and there were students. It wasn't David versus Goliath. It was a pendulum, eternally swaying from the dark to the light. And the more intensely that the light shone, the darker the shadow it cast. It was never really a battle for me to win. It was an eternal dance. And like a dance, the more rigid I became, the harder it got. The more I cursed my clumsy footsteps, the more I struggled. So I got older, and I learned to relax. And I learned to soften, and that dance got easier. It is this eternal dance that separates human beings from angels, from demons, from gods. And I must not forget, we must not forget, that we are human beings.
And he put it better than I could with a poem. With that. Yeah, this poetic interpretation went deep, went heavy, and I know that I do not regret doing this and really sharing my experiences through the lens that he provided. Um, yeah, we must not forget the internal battle that we're all facing, and that our light can shine through the darkest moments in the world and also within ourselves. So that is what saved me, and it's what has saved Ren. And hopefully, it can save you too. Well, thank y'all for joining in on this poetic interpretations of High Ren. Do appreciate y'all for being here. And yeah, I'll see you next time on the next Poetic Interpretations. I'm Carpool Tonal. And as always, peace, love, and understanding to others and to yourself. That's what makes the world a better place.